So I'm going to skip around a little bit on this one. But so yesterday, my sister came and picked me up. We surprised my mom. My mom didn't know I was in town. It was this great surprise. And so we're all hanging out. Now, I don't spend a lot of physical time around my mother. There's all kinds of reasons for it, but basically it makes my life easier. So, but in the space, like there's probably been a little over a year between times that I've spent with her, I've changed a lot. Now, I do that, right? Like I'm always going after having more of my reality and choosing what works for me and being more interesting point of view. And that's just my constant quest. So it's always really actually great information for me to hang around her in between, or, at different various times throughout that process, because I get a lot of information about what I've changed. And, there was a lot of things I could talk about when it came to yesterday, just tons of awareness. But the one thing that really stuck out to me was about money. And we were taking her out for Mother's Day, because Mother's Day is either last weekend or this weekend, one of them. And we were happy to take her anywhere she wanted. She's got this favorite restaurant called the Margarita that is a little more fine dining, that's expensive and $35 a person. And then she also really likes going to Old Chicago and having pizza. And so her choice was to go to Old Chicago because and here was her reason. She likes it and it was affordable. And she's like, oh, the Margarita is expensive. It's like $35 a person. Well, you guys, I'm looking at driving to Chicago after I facilitate a class in Lansing, Michigan, to go eat at Alinea, which is a minimum of $245 a person plus wine. Now, I'm not saying that I think that's cheap or I think that's like going to Taco Bell. It's not. It's a different choice. But what I did get is that in my reality, money works very differently. And if I want to have something that adds to my life and my living, I will just create for it. That's it. It is that simple it's just that simple. There's no middle ground. There's no story to it. It's like, I want to go, let's create for it. So I got yesterday that is not my mother's reality, number one. Number two, that I have a very different financial reality. The fact that I'm able to even be here now suggests that my financial reality has been different from the beginning, and that I was probably just psychic and picking up on all of her stuff all along, including my dad's stuff and everybody else's stuff. I mean, that's all they argued about was money. So it's like, I was just immersed in this insane reality around money. And number three was this question of like, what's the purpose of choosing no money? I saw the purpose in her world. I saw it. I'm like, it just gives her so many things. Like people take care of her. She gets free stuff. She gets free rides. She doesn't actually have to be responsible for anything about her life except for getting herself up, getting herself dressed, which most of the time she doesn't even do that. Feeding the cat raw food, her basic survival. And that is what works for her. So having no money has an intense, deep-seated purpose. And then I started looking at that for me. What's the purpose of having no money? And I'm like, I don't ever anymore let myself have no money. Like when I get down to a certain point, I'm like, okay, it's time to create. And I don't even wait for that anymore. Like that's totally changed. And so I really, with all of this, I really just want to invite you to a few things. The possibility that your reality with money is different than your family's. Number two, that you are incredibly psychic and you pick up on every single other person's reality with money 8 to 8,000 miles in every direction, but especially your family. And three, really asking yourself that question of like, what is the purpose of having no money? Because there's brilliance in everything you choose, including having no money. There's brilliance in that. That sounds weird, but if you're willing to look for it and ask for it, you'll find it. Everything you choose is brilliant. And anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you, give you those questions, have you look at that. And if any of this is fun for you, I'm doing a one call that if you're seeing this before a certain date, you can be live on. And if it's after, you can go get it on my website, which is the 10 keys to creating money for anything. You have the capacity to totally change this for yourself. And there may be some information missing. There may be some gaps missing. There may be some questions that you could add. But let's go there.